I'm being me.
I'm going to turn my
Okay.
camera off until I finish
Oh
eating,
my
okay?
gosh.
Here we go. Yay. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And I do want to keep everybody's time valuable. It is 8:03. So I would like to start. And when Nancy joins us, that will be a blessing. And I don't really have to introduce myself. However, I would like to introduce you a little more to my vision boarding journey, and then we will dive right into it. And what I would like to do for you is, as I said in my email and in text messages and however I reached out to you, this is a workshop where you're going to be doing the work with me, alongside me, so you don't have a lot of work to do outside of class because our lives are busy. And I think it's really nice when we are here together to learn and grow from each other and with each other. So my intention is, it's not just me. Yes, I am the person leading and guiding. However, I love input from people, and I want this to be a safe place for everybody. You don't ever have to share. You are welcome to share your experience throughout the course, but there is never any have to. Obviously, I want this to be a safe place. And before we get started, actually, since our today topic is about gratitude, I would like for you, and I don't know, Danielle, if you can do that right now, but I would like for you to take your phone and Carmia's like, what?
Well, because I'm on a laptop. So do I need my phone for something else?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I would like you to take your phone, and I would like for you to pick any person right now that you would like to send a gratitude text message to. Just tell them that you're grateful for them in your life, how cool or awesome they are. It doesn't matter who it is, whoever pops into your head first. No rhyme or reason, just I want you to send a message to somebody that you're grateful for. And I am going to... Give me a thumbs up when you are done. And you don't have to tell them you're in a court or anything. Just say hi and that you appreciate them. Carol, done?
Yep.
Okay. Gonna give you another 30 seconds.
Nancy should be signing on any minute.
Cool.
What's this music that's in the background?
I just put Spotify upbeat motivation. I don't know if it's upbeat, but it does have a good vibe.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Mrs. Hodaba.
Yeah.
Did you teach second grade forever?
Third grade.
You had both of my children. I'm formerly Mrs. Irby.
No kidding. How's Ian doing?
Ian's 25 and in the Navy and has 3 daughters under 5.
Oh my goodness. I thought you looked familiar.
I just saw the name and I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, you had Colin too. You had Colin also.
Oh my goodness.
Didn't you?
Talk about a small world.
Too many
this
kids.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Ian immediately popped into my head.
Sure. Yep. You had Colin as well. Colin was Ian's doppelganger. Everybody called him Ian till he was in 5th grade. Well, till he left in 4th grade. He was in 4th grade and he transferred to the
different.
Over the Asperger's program over at Unionville.
Oh,
Because him and my daughter Maya has autism, and my son Colin has Asperger's. And so Colin ended up over. Go ahead.
it would have made sense. He was in my room because I was
Yes.
I was the first grade where they got transitioned in.
So Colin left in 4th grade.
Uh-huh.
He made it through kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But he went through 2nd grade was Mrs. Hanley, and then you. And then he was upstairs with Mr. somebody with a Y, Yarmosky.
Yarmosky. Who do you have in first? Do you remember?
Too long ago.
Yes. Mick something with
McGuire?
her.
I
Yes.
bet you is he the little guy that I used to steal out of her classroom and bring to 3rd grade?
From 1st grade?
Yeah.
You might have.
There was a little guy on the spectrum that was like struggling in her room, and
Is he the one who flooded the urinal regularly?
that I didn't know about.
You guys will have to exchange your number so you guys can.
Yes.
like,
Sorry to
remember-
hijack the time. Sorry to hijack the time.
It is a small world. I said everybody is somehow connected. So
But it's one of
Yeah.
those weird things about teaching is you have these kids and you love them like your own,
Yeah.
and you let them go on faith,
Right,
and you
and
never
don't
know where
know.
they end up
yeah,
ever.
Well,
but you
we'll
know that
talk.
you're making ripples. You know, you're
Exactly.
making ripples, and that's
We'll
what-
talk
that's
and I'll tell
exciting.
you all the stories.
He has a lot. That's true. That's awesome. Now, how did it make you feel sending that message?
Well, I was going to make a phone call tomorrow
Okay.
to tell my sister that I'm cooking duck for Easter.
Okay.
So
So
I just did it now, thanking her for being my nursemaid for the last couple of weeks.
nice. Yes. Right. Like that gratitude is what fills our cup, right? When we receive it, but also when we give it out. And that is going to be like our first step in our process for getting to the vision board, which now brings me back to how I started. I officially started creating vision boards about 8 years ago. And throughout the years, every year I would make at least one, and some of the things would come true, others wouldn't. And when I really, a couple of years ago, started looking back, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and it started really educating myself about it. One of the things that came up for me is that it's kind of difficult sometimes to create a vision board when we are not dealing with the now and our past. It is quite difficult to figure out what we want in our future if we haven't really figured out where we are currently, and especially where the past is. So that's why today is all about gratitude. And my mission is that it doesn't take you 8 years to figure out how to create a vision board that actually works. And then, of course, once we are creating a vision board, you also want to know some action steps on what to do to work towards that, because a vision without a plan or a vision without steps is not going to get you anywhere, right? So that is kind of like my intention and my mission and vision for us. And I do have a plan, so I'm like staying on task. Okay. Okay, we're going to dive right in. So gratitude. When we focus on what we are grateful for, first of all, for the message that we send, right? It makes us like all feeling good and fuzzy and stuff like that. And with that, I hope that everybody brought a notebook. Everybody has a notebook or a piece of paper that you have. Very awesome. Okay, so we need one page. And what I would like you to do is use that one page for the whole exercise. Obviously, there's no right or wrong answer ever. If you need another page, that's fine. So when you're writing, I want you to write rather small-ish, so you have room to be adding to it as we go along. And the first part is that pick one color, maybe your favorite color. I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but pick a color that you like. And first, we're going to go into the past.
Ugh.
You're unmuted, girl.
I don't care. I apologize for disturbing anyone. It's just, it's why I
So,
haven't been doing this work. But here we are.
I know, here we are, right? So from the past, so I want you to pick one color. The first thing I want you to write on that page, and I kind of like, this is what mine kind of like looks like. So it's all these different colors for each topic is going to be a different color. And don't overthink it right now, right? Just whatever comes to mind. Whatever comes to mind is what I would want you to write down. So the first thing for the past is, and I'm going to turn on some music. Who are you grateful for from your past? And past, I'm meaning up till like a year ago, maybe, or something like that, or 6 months ago. So anybody from when you can remember when you're really, really little to about 6 months ago. So kind of like the past, okay? Who? Just names. You don't have to do any explanations, anything like that. Just listing names. And it doesn't have to be pretty in a line either. Like it can be like all over the place. Just let your pen guide you. I'm gonna write it in the chat too. Who are you grateful for?
And these are only people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll do other things next. First, people. Okay, now stay in the past
Ah,
and think about experiences that you are grateful for in the past. And again, you don't have to explain anything because it's your list.
By changing color.
Nope, same color.
Oh, I've got 4 different colors already.
That's because you're an artist.
That's okay. Whatever, I don't care. You're colorful, I love it.
Oh, okay.
So experiences, anything you've experienced in the past, and again, could be like places, it could be, certain activity, anything goes that comes to mind when you think of experiences. Okay, you can keep adding to it. But the next thing, also from your past, I'm very loud.
I'm loud. I don't know.
So we talked about people, experiences, and now the third thing is better. And now the third thing is accomplishments. And it doesn't have to be big, small, anything when you think of the word accomplishment. That you are
Life.
grateful. Yes, exactly.
Half of my pens are duds.
You're running out of pens already, Cheryl?
All duds. Accomplishments.
A bigger piece of paper.
You can use the second one. But it's nice to see it all in one.
Yeah. It's a good thing I had the experience I had earlier this week. It's much easier. Or last week, actually.
All happens when it's supposed to happen. Danielle, we don't care if you're sideways, but it is nice to see you this way. Can I give you another like 30 seconds? Okay. Now, if anybody would like to share, like, was there one area that was the easiest to write things down about? Was there one that was a little harder to think about? Or did they all like flow really easily? Anybody?
I had really easy time talking about who I'm grateful for in my past. My experiences were a little harder and my accomplishments were really hard. I got a really short list.
I wonder why. Probably, maybe, if I had to guess, it's because we don't, because that was the hardest one for me as well. We don't usually toot our own horn, even though we know we're good at certain things, right? But like writing down accomplishments, it's like, oh gosh, I gotta say that I'm awesome and that I did all these incredible things. Like, who am I? That already kind of goes into
Value and worth.
value and worth and limiting beliefs, right? So very interesting that you had that very same experience. Anybody else?
Mine was pretty equally difficult and equally flowing as I was writing.
Good.
And I think I could go a lot deeper,
Right.
a lot longer. And so I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, that's where I always invite you, right? I mean, you've been
Yeah.
to a couple of my courses that, you know, like from now on, that's why the journal, right? You can always come back and add to it. But the initial one is, I think, the I don't want to say the most insightful one, but the first insight of like, okay, whoa, where am I at? Because you're not really thinking deeply. You're just like, okay, I'm put on the spot and I'm putting things down, you know? And then, anybody else?
Helped
Peop-
me was a realization I came to last week where I realized I had self-branded myself as stupid in first grade because of my dyslexia. And one of the things that I was struggling with is I'm engaged in this coaching program that's all on Zoom, and most of the people are in Europe. And they kept saying, well, you're so smart. And I couldn't accept that.
Yeah.
I really had trouble. And on a couple of situations where I was comfortable enough with the person, I actually reached out to them individually and said, how the hell can you tell? We've never met face to face. We've never shaken hands. How can you tell? And then realizing that I was the one who put myself in that bucket. Once I was able to flip that switch, then I look back and I've accomplished a hell of a lot.
Yes, you have.
So now I'm okay with that. And it sounded simple. I mean, it sounds simple, but it took 7 programs that I've been going through with this group to get to that point.
Because it's so rooted so deeply in you, that
Yeah.
belief. And
Yeah.
Such a long
when you
time.
have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years of a belief, you're not gonna, first of all, admit it or realize it. And then when you do, it takes work to change it. But the cool thing is our brains, right? They can change. It can change.
Yeah.
So by being aware of it is the very first step to creating that change. Because when you're aware of it, you're like, wait a minute, now then you notice it, and then you can start taking action steps towards changing it. So that is, it's a really huge, huge accomplishment. Thank you
Yep.
for sharing. Proud of you. Anybody want to share like one thing that they wrote down that they're really like grateful for, a person or one accomplishment or one thing before we move on?
To link to what she just said,
Uh-huh.
the thing that I'm most proud of in my life is that I was able to teach all kids. That I carefully crafted how I did lessons, how I planned things in the classroom, how I talked to children, what they were allowed to touch, how much trust I showed in them, how much honor I showed them. And I found out, I mean, I always knew my brother was a big part of my baby brother, who I feel like I helped raise, was my first child. And he's 10 years younger than I am. He's extremely learning disabled. And just as a person who just spoke, I don't know names yet.
Carol.
Yeah, back before there was any special education, before there were any laws to protect you, before there was anybody who, in my opinion, gave a damn. It was like, if you couldn't learn the way the typical normal kid did, you were just, oh, well, and put to the side. And so my baby brother dealt with this. And to me, from the time he was the tiniest little kid, he was the most brilliant person I had ever met. But he could not learn to read. And it took him like 10, 15 years to be able to get to read. And when I became a teacher, I would say to him, Mikey, how do you do it? How does your brain work? Help me be a better teacher. Give me a window. And he looked at me and he said, Cheryl, I love you, but I'm never going to tell you. Because every person I've tried to explain it to looks at me like I'm crazy, and I don't want that look on your face.
Oh.
And he said to me, he said, when my mom passed and we were sharing stories about our parents, when both our parents passed, one of the stories he told me was how he came home from college and he was talking to my mother, and he told my mother that I saved his life, that he would have died if I hadn't been there. And how enraged my mother got. I mean, just enraged, because she had always been the lioness in his corner. She'd always been the person fighting every educational establishment to get that poor kid what he needed. But while she was busy doing all that work and raising 5 kids, I was the one sitting with him reading on my lap. I was the one playing my flute in the front yard, making the birds come down in front of us so he would giggle and laugh. you know, and that love, that relationship, that'll never, ever go away. And he made such a huge impact on who I became, you
Yeah.
know, that, you know, and I tell him all the time, you know, this kid succeeded because of you. You know, you're brilliant, but making him believe it is so hard.
Well, and that was the shadow I was living under, because I still can't do
Oh.
phonics. So ethnic names are completely impossible for me. And my parents never wanted to admit they had a defective child. So, you know, I was totally on my own.
Yeah.
With a brilliant brother and a natural athlete for a sister. And, you know, I couldn't deal with
You were the
was
one
and
left
saw.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I struggled with was and saw, so I was stupid, right? And
Yeah.
interesting, the first person I put on the list was Miss Lucas, who was my world history teacher in sophomore year of high school. And she taught me to think, and I can't tell you how she did it, but I know she was the person
Yep.
who taught me to think.
Wow.
And she
Oh,
was
I'm having
first on my
goosebumps. I'm having
list.
goosebumps here. This is
It
amazing.
only takes one. It takes that one
Yep.
significant adult.
Yep. Yep.
You know, it only takes that one and that's the whole crux, is when we believe in ourselves and we see it reflected in someone else's eyes.
Right.
You need to see it reflected back at you from someone else.
And that's why I also made you send that text message.
Yes.
So the people, whoever you send it to or whoever you're talking to, that they know that they matter. You know, because we do it. I think all of us, you know, the way I know you, we do that, but like really doing it on purpose. And I really work hard to every day send one of those messages and just saying hi to somebody, you know, and just be like, I was just thinking of you. I hope everything is going well. You know, you're so good at whatever. And it is amazing when they're like, whoa, wait, like the joy that comes back. So that's, you know, it all comes like kind of like full circle. So thank you so much for sharing that.
When I first started teaching, I entered a building where the culture was set. Well, it's always set by the principal, but the particular principal at that time told every teacher that he expected 150% from them, and that their classroom had better be unique and special and unique in a way that nobody else's was, which was a great, you know, everything has a plus and a negative.
Right.
It was a great
Two
way
sides
that
to every coin.
kind of forced his teachers to work harder and do their best.
Yeah.
The negative was people wouldn't share with one another.
Oh, I know.
People wouldn't
Oh my
compliment
God.
one another. People wouldn't collaborate. People wouldn't, you know, and so I told my mom about it before I took the job, because I worked there in a long-term position first. And she said, you're never going to survive in that environment. I said, yeah, I will. I said, I can play the dumb blonde really well. You know, so I just
But it's so
pretended.
sad. I feel that that's the thing for everything we do in life, right? Like when we
Play
share, like
small.
we get
Play
better.
small.
Yeah, but when
No,
we
I just-
share, everybody's better because of it. you know?
Exactly. Exponentially better. That's the amazing thing. It's not just you and another person double whatever effort you might have had. You quadruple it. You know, 10 times, 20 times. The way it works is so incredible. I don't understand why anybody would want to tamp that down. You know, so I just ignored it. You know, and while other teachers would like jump if he came to the door, and he was always interrupting teaching, always. And I don't know where I got my cockiness from, unless it was from my mother.
Well, because I know where you got it from. I know where you got it from because you cared. And that's when
Yes.
life, like when you know what you know because it comes from your heart, then you don't give a damn. Like you don't care because you know it's the right thing to do. You know it's the right thing to share, you know. And that's again on the flip side where we need to, in some other areas, need to believe more in ourselves so we can be that person in all of our areas, not just some of them, because in some of them we really excel, we know. And then the things where we, you know, grow, just like me with the vision boarding, I'm really, really good at it. But I was like, why would I make a course with that? I'm like, who's going to listen to me? However, like I need to share it so other people can be successful with it and
Right.
create a better future for themselves. It's not just for me, it's like the ripple effect, right? That we get all into. So, so with that now, okay, so I'm going to give you choices because I don't know if Carol, if anybody's already running out of space, So now we're gonna do the same questions, but for the present, like
Let's see, that's
within the last month or today, like within the present. I like you to use a different color on the same paper. If you are already running out of space, you can do it on the back of your paper or on another piece in your notebook.
So sort of in the same section, like past, present, in the same line. And then, all
Oh, no, I did it all over the place.
right,
I went like
You
again,
just
that's
know
where the
what
creativity,
color.
like I did it all over the place, but with a
Right.
different color.
all right.
You know, so then you know, okay, these were all my answers for the past in one color. Although I know Cheryl has already 4 colors and you like to use 4 different.
Oh,
It
no,
doesn't
we're like
really-
10.
it doesn't it doesn't really matter. Really, it doesn't really matter.
She wanted to be an art teacher.
I
I want to
did.
be an
I
artist.
wanted to be an art teacher and I failed. Okay, but we will add one other one later. So I'm going to walk you through it again. So for the present, as in as close to today as you possibly can think of, who are you grateful for? Okay, and it doesn't even have to be somebody that's super close to you. It could be somebody you just encountered today that did something for you, or that you're thinking of. Like I'm thinking of my mail person, that they're bringing up my mail to me. I don't even know their name, so I wrote postman on there, so I don't have to go down and pick up my package down there. They come all the way up the driveway, you know. So who are you grateful for, like right now, today, or within the last week? Trying to get to my music. Here we go. Okay, now to experiences. What are you grateful for in the past couple of days or last week, within a week, that
What's that
you
color?
were able, pardon?
The same color or a different color?
Same color for the present, unless you.
Okay, all right, no, that's fine. I try to listen. I don't always follow, but I do try to listen.
I'm the teacher, like, this is what I like you to do, but if you have a different way, just talk to me. We can figure it out.
Tell me again what this is.
Experiences of the present. Little things that happened. You're
That we're grateful for.
what accomplishments? It could be like, for me, it was making the bed, even though I'm on vacation.
Mm.
Eating with a knife and fork today.
Yeah, wow. I know, with your arm being out of commission. I'm sure that was a big one.
It was a little stress, so I have to be a little more patient. Not
Really?
my strong suit.
I wasn't gonna say that.
For me, I think it was the abundance class we just finished with Linda, because it
That
got
was
me, it got me out of
incredible.
my own head. It made me think deeper and got me out of the bad stories I was telling myself. And then, but that came at the right time, because before that, I got the diagnosis of my congestive heart failure. So part of the pain and the angst I was feeling was leaving teaching when I didn't want to leave teaching, but leaving teaching because I refused to do a half-assed job. I wasn't going to be one of those old fuddy-duddies that stayed on and did damage. I was going to leave while I was at my peak.
Hmm.
And getting that diagnosis, finally realizing it wasn't that I'd lost it, it's just that my body couldn't keep up with my desire and my passion and my ambition anymore. And it was just that simple. Sometimes the body just gives out.
Darn bodies.
Well, the body gives us signals, and a lot of times we don't listen for a long time, and then the body's like, screw you, now you're really gonna listen, because now
Yeah, now the damage
it's
is done.
sorry, I do have a potty mouth.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, Biden certainly got my attention.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we don't lay down, God knocks our feet out from under us.
Oh, I like that one.
That's a good one. That's exactly what happened.
And that's it. That is exactly what happened.
And I am,
Yeah,
from all of those experiences from people around me, I am very active about really listening better to my body, so those things don't happen to me. Like, it's scary, right? When you just, yeah, when those things happen. Yeah.
I think as you age, you find excuses. At times you think, oh, this is just part of the normal aging process. You know, I could always do this. I could always juggle 15 things. I could always do this. I could always do that. And you don't listen to that signal. You just go, oh, I'm getting old. Shit.
yeah.
I just started listening to a podcast on burnout. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew it kind of existed, but I thought, like,
It's really bad.
It was for somebody else.
to somebody else. And now I'm like, when I listened to her, I was like,
All right, share
No.
that in the chat, that link, please, because yeah.
That would be a
yeah,
good.
I will. I want to do a book club. I bought a book by her. I already actually
Okay.
talked to the author. I was like, I need to talk to you.
Who is
Okay.
it? The author.
Her name is Caitlin Donovan. I'll send you all a picture, or I'll send it in the email.
Okay.
I just ordered the book and I just started reading it yesterday, and it's like a guide on walking you through, and she has coaching as well. But I was just like blown away, because we often hear like nurses are, have burnout, and then all these companies, but people in their regular life burn out, and it's different for everybody. And that's why there is a definition, but there is no real definition. You will figure it out on your own. For me, it's resentment. Who knew? That's one of the signs. And now I'm like, okay, now that again, like we said earlier, right? Once you
Awareness.
know,
Yeah.
you realize it, now you can take action steps towards preventing it. And I thought what was really powerful, and I think this goes into this course as well, and that's what we're going to be working on next time, is the whole thing. We do gratitude, and it's so important to be grateful, but you also really need to sit and feel the shitty days. Like, those are emotions. Like, if we're like, I can't be angry, I can't be upset, I can't have resentment. No, those are valid emotions that you're going to be like, okay, sit through them, let them come out, and then investigate, you know? So that's something where I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I'm always the happy person. And then all of a sudden I break down and I'm like, wait a minute, and not talking about it, right? Because on the outside world, you know, why would you admit that, you know, like you're struggling? But I think that's where the authenticity comes in. And that's
and
why
we've
I'm
been
doing this
trained-
work, you know?
And we've been very carefully trained to be the superwomen, to be the strong ones, to be the, you know, we don't even go to each other for help because we have to be strong.
Mhm.
Well,
Exactly.
and two, for me, like the autopilot, right? I'm so busy taking care of everybody else and making sure that everybody else's needs are met, and special needs kids, blah, 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 blah. People who are in need, and I have the ability to assist, and I have the resources and the connections, you know, talk about connecting. And so I get into this energetic level, this sort of a frenzy kind of thing, and then I don't ever breathe. I forget to breathe.
And that's something she talks about. She's like, stress is a good thing. However, when we have stress all the time,
Right.
it really
not.
does stuff to our brain. And because of it, like it kind of shrinks our brain in the part where we can deal with stress. So that means now we can deal even with less stress,
Less
which will
able.
stress us out. And then it's this like vicious cycle that gets it worse and worse. I was like, wow, so fascinating. But
Right.
again,
And cortisol, that's not our friend.
exactly, right. For a little bit, but not for, you know, when
Not
it
in the long term.
Yeah.
right. And so I will share that with you guys. Thank you for letting me talk about it, because I think all of it is a piece
Still
of it,
connected.
is all
Mhm.
connected. Now, one other fun thing I would like to add, and I think, not, I don't know if it's fun, but something I think we often forget to add to our gratitude list for today is what kind of technology are you grateful for? And I know there's good and bad, but what kind of technology are you grateful for today that didn't exist maybe 5, 10, 20, or 30 years ago?
Oh, that's easy.
But all of it. Just put all of it.
Just write down a few things and like, you think about, not think about, but be like, okay, what are the things? I mean, for me, Zoom,
Yes,
smartphone,
that's top of the list.
WhatsApp, because that's how I stay connected with my family. I could care less about TV, but I guess pre-TV programs.
Yeah, I don't watch
You
TV.
Go to Broadway in your bedroom.
On TV?
Yeah, I've got the Broadway Plus app, and I pay for that because I can't leave this house. And I'm going to Broadway anyway.
Nice. I didn't know that was a
I might have to write
thing.
that down.
I watch plays. I mean, it's Broadway Plus is the streaming service. And, you know, I've got an Apple TV thing, so I can stream from my phone up to the TV,
Yeah.
anything I want. So I can
All
do
the
that.
things we don't know.
But I
Yep.
got lucky, and the new TV that we bought happens to have the app right on the TV. So I just put the app right on the TV, and I can go in right on the TV and do it.
That's something I would do. I love Broadway shows. Oh
Yeah.
my
So
God.
the TV has its place, you know.
Yeah.
This Wednesday, I've got tickets to Lincoln Center, and my daughter, her husband, and their 2 kids are coming over, and we're all going to cuddle on my bed and watch a jazz concert straight from Lincoln Center.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
That's
that's great to
so
know,
awesome.
because-
See, aren't we glad we're doing this?
I can't afford parking.
I mean, $20 for the night.
Well, I used to live across town from Lincoln Center, so I was there all the
Oh.
time for classical music.
Yeah. Oh my God.
See,
it's
Carol,
gonna
maybe
be
that's something
global.
you can look into. Say,
Yeah, for
we're all
sure.
connecting.
Yeah,
So
because
definitely the
that's
technology.
something I miss. Yep.
Yeah. Now, with all of the stuff that we did, now comes some homework with it. Not really, but kind of. It's an invitation. So when we have stress, or we don't feel good, or like, I don't know, are angry or mad or sad or whatever, what my invitation is for you to now go back to your lists, plural, to both of the lists, and circle things that you could find a picture of. that you have a picture of, like either the people from your past or experiences. And of course, it doesn't have to be exact same one, or could just be the name in the picture. Because what I'd like you to do is, like, I would like you to create and I haven't done it either yet, a list on your phone, like an album on your phone. So when you don't feel so great, you can look at those pictures, like a picture of, Carol, for you, it's Lincoln Center. You have like great experiences there, put a picture of Lincoln Center, put a picture of, I don't know, your book, your new branding, right? Because that gets you really excited. And then having kind of like a folder that you can get and the press of a button, be like, okay, I'm feeling blah right now. And you can just look at those pictures, because picture is super, super powerful, and create just an album with like, I don't know, 5 pictures, 10 pictures, however many you want. And then when you don't feel so great, create a little, take a minute and just scroll to those pictures. It's powerful. I think it's powerful because it gets us also into the vision boarding aspect of what are we grateful for,
One of my principals called that the feel good folder.
The what folder?
The feel
Feel
good.
good.
Oh, feel good. Oh, I like that.
He said, every one of you in your file cabinet, and I want you to put a folder in the front. He was an ex-Marine. I want each one of you to put a folder in the front of your file cabinet. And I don't want you to give me the letters you get from your parents to tell you you're wonderful. I want you to put them in your file folder. And when you have a totally crappy day, that's what you pull out and read.
Sounds amazing.
Which principal was that?
Mike Millay,
I
believe it or not.
thought so.
Yeah. I can channel that man.
And that's, see, now
But
you can
that's
call it
actually what
feel
I
good.
do.
You can call it feel good folder on your phone.
Yeah.
I like it. I already wrote it down. I'm
I
gonna
actually make copies of my vision boards that I've done with Cecilia, and I carry them in my planner.
Yep.
Oh, how nice.
It only took me 3 years to get you to make a board and actually come to one of my workshops, just saying, but I know you're open for that.
Are you mocking yourself or her with that comment, Miss?
No, because Carol always says, at first, she's like, it only took you 3 years to nudge me.
I'm a hard sell.
Okay.
And now she's on board number 4 within a year, just saying.
I'm grateful,
Well, I'm
Cecilia, that
saying that
you were
you're right.
persistent in your invitation to her.
Yes.
Me too. And that sometimes, Carol is a great example of that. And I think, Cheryl, you probably feel the same way. We just don't give up, and it doesn't mean, I hope Carol never felt that I was like bombarding her or like trying to convince her. Every time I just invite it.
Yeah.
Because you
I
don't know
call
when it's
that-
the right time.
When I taught teachers, I was part of a leadership team in like every curriculum area. But I used to tell them, you need to be like water on stone. Soft and gentle, give somebody a gift. Give them a book that's really cool. Give them something that's going to enlarge their teaching. Give them something that's going to make their heart bigger. Invite them to
Just
your
write a
class.
little note sometimes.
Yeah, write a note. I heard about the lesson you did on X, Y, or Z, and it was awesome. Can you share that with me? And it's those little drops on stone that make the most impact on the most intractable people, because it's kindness and it's love and it's.
Well, and I think it's also because, again, coming back to that point, right? We care. I mean, Danielle, I go to see her for Bowen therapy, and a lot of people had told me about it. She had told me about it. I don't know. I think 2 years later, I had that one event, like a friend came over and we had lunch together, and she talked about how incredibly Danielle helped her. And that's when I was ready. Like, I had known about Danielle and her, her craft and how amazing she is. But for me, it took, all these exposures to different people. And then I was ready, and it's been an incredible journey since. So it's like, yes. So not giving up, right? That's the important thing. So I'm going to make a feel-good folder with my pictures. And the last thing for today is now starting to weave into the future part. And then next week, we're going to go back to the past. However, every week I want to weave in a little teeny tiny bit of getting us prepped and ready for our vision board. And Danielle, we've done a similar activity before. I always ask people at the beginning, like, when you're trying to think about what do I even want for my future? Wouldn't it be cool if? That's usually my question. However, what I've discovered in the past is that what if, okay? So what if is such an interesting phrase because when we use that, what if, usually after it comes something negative. What if I'm not on time? What if I can't afford that bill? What if
I
the
get
guy
lost.
doesn't call me back? What did you say, Carmen?
If I get lost.
What if I get lost? What if, I don't know, like the power goes out? What if I don't get the job? What if I'm not good enough? Like, what if they don't call me back? What if, right? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
A lot of times the what if is something that is negatively impacted, or we're thinking about all the problems that could arise or happen. Now, the what if also works the opposite way. And I started using that, and it's miraculous. It actually is magic. So instead of saying, what if they don't hire me? I dare you to say, what if they hire me? Wait, if they hire me, that means I need to do this, 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 and this right now, or it will allow me to do this, 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 and that, right? So flipping it the other way around. So thinking about what if, think about things that are happening in your life right now. And I know some of the things that I think almost all of you are looking towards or thinking about. So instead of saying, what if it doesn't work, I want you to write down things. What if, for me, what if I get to quit or retire from public teaching by the time I'm 45, which is in 2 years? What if? Instead of, what if I can't make it work? What if I have to stay till I'm 60?
Yeah.
I love teaching, but it's not, I want more. So think about, I don't want to give you a number, but think about a list of things, because you have to do the two things, right? You have to think about like, what if is usually your negative thought, and then trying to flip it to the, what if that actually would happen? What if, and a positive twist on it. Try to type it, and then I'm going to put our music. Try, like, so you don't have to listen to me. Oh, I'm on that journey with you, girl.
We supposed to be putting these in the chat or
No,
just on, no, just on the page?
Oh, I didn't even know there was a chat. Now I'm looking at it.
Oh,
I just
good,
put
because I
some-
gave you my phone number, Mrs. Hodaba.
Oh, you did you? Oh,
I can connect the two of you too.
Okay.
I got you both of your numbers.
Mm.
I know that Mrs. Hodaba made an impression on me way back when Ian was in her class because he got to stand up at his desk.
Oh,
He didn't
yeah,
have, he didn't, because he couldn't,
he
he
couldn't.
couldn't.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't required to. And that was the most amazing thing.
I have kids
Why,
like that.
that's why that boy cooks for the Navy, because he is not a desk man.
And stand.
Wow, that's so awesome. What was this hard? The what if things,
No.
right?
No.
It had some scary spots because I have to shut up the negative voice.
Yes.
And I have to go with the things that I know to be true for me, that about playing small and playing safe and denying myself my truth, because that
Mm-hmm.
it's like a mosquito bite. It hurts and it itches and it doesn't go away.
But it does eventually.
No, it only goes away if I pay attention to it and I actually follow through on some stuff. Otherwise, it's just like an annoying mosquito bite all the time. And then I have to like deny myself. And that ends up being poison to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've already lived that path of denying myself and
Right.
ended up almost dead. So do I want to go down that trip again?
No.
Not so much. Nope.
Definitely not.
No.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. It's
Thanks
definitely-
for the platform.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm so happy that you guys are.
I'm so glad that I said yes, even when I didn't want to, and that I showed up when I didn't want to, and that I'm here, even though I don't want to, because I don't want to face myself. I'm such a mess. Oh my God. But I'm not.
No, because
I'm not.
you have no idea when you said you were going to do this, how grateful I am, because I get to, you breathe so much love and light into everybody. It's such an honor to give that back to every single one of you. You know, I think that's really, really, really powerful.
And the other thing, we can't do it alone. I tried for many years and it
Yeah.
cannot be done alone.
Right. And that's the other part of death is, flying solo all the time and thinking that nobody will get it, or not finding the tribe that I want to grow up to be like. It's hard when you're a leader in a room full of people who want you to be the leader. And I'm like, sometimes I need somebody to step up next to me and want to lead with me.
Yeah. I
Or
know.
maybe take over.
Exactly.
And then I have to trust them to do so. But I've got a great group of people.
Yes, you do. Well, and that's the thing, that's one of the steps we're going to be taking as well, is like, who are the people that are not serving us anymore,
Well, the really version of me that I don't like anymore is not serving me. So she's got to go.
Good. Awesome. And I think that is so powerful that we acknowledge that, right? Like for me too, I'm like, I love teaching. Why do I have such resentment for it now? It's because I am burning out in certain areas and I am not dealing with it. So by me now finding the coaching and the work that needs to be done, but it can only be done when you realize that there is something, and there's nothing wrong. It's just
Right.
means like we need to learn, or if we're open to, we'll be a better version of ourselves. And that's where all of this comes in. Plus then we can envision a bigger future for ourselves,
Yeah.
and we as women, I feel like it's because you said it earlier too, like, and I know for Danielle, it's the same way. Like we're always there for everybody else. We have to take care of everybody else, and that's okay. However, one of the other things that Caitlin said is too, is like, well, we always say you can't pour from an empty cup. However, our cups have holes. So it doesn't matter how much gratitude you put into that cup, if it has holes of you not believing in yourself and you surrounding yourself with activities and people and
Mm.
things that are not serving you, you can pour, like, you can write 5 hours of you can do 5 hours of meditation every day, and you can write 100 things you're grateful for. If you're not fixing the holes in your cup, your belief, it's never going to be enough. And that's, again, when you're going to feel like overwhelmed because I'm doing all this work, it's not working, because we're not working on the right aspect.
Yeah, wow, that struck.
That's a
How
really-
often do I tell, like, my son who's struggling in his marriage, and that, his wife has poor beliefs about herself, and I'm like, you're pouring into a sieve. You can give her all of the love and everything, but if she doesn't believe it, it's pouring out. But it never occurred to me that I've got holes in my cup.
We all
And when
do.
people, yeah, and thank you for that.
We all do.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
God. Yes.
that people say wonderful things to me, or and I just, I shush them off. Oh, it's not me, it's Jesus. Or, all the things that I say, so that I don't have to absorb, because I don't want to engage my ego. I'm so fucking afraid to allow my ego an inch, because I've got addiction issues. So an inch is a mile, and then it's I'm under the
But
bridge again.
imagine if you had a mile of belief in how freaking awesome you are.
Shut up, woman.
Imagine what you would be
Oh my
doing.
God, don't even go there. I don't know what that looks like. And that's the other thing, like, I don't even know what, like, right now my life is so freaking amazing that I almost can't believe it's real. And so
That's what we do. But that's what we do.
Right.
Like,
So I
our life is
downplay
great,
it.
and then we look for the problems. I don't
I don't have
deserve
to
it.
look for the problem, but I downplay it
Mhm.
because this is the best it's ever been. What's it like on the next level of good? That's so scary to me. So, like,
Scary
let's just
good.
stay right here, because this is good. I can do this. I can handle this. What happens when more shows up? Abundance is great. Maybe I need the abundance thing. Shut up. All right, next, moving on.
But that's part of the journey, right? That's part of this course, like being like, yes, we're giving gratitude for what we have, and also accepting, because I had a hard time, and I still do have a hard time accepting help from my friends, my family, anybody.
Right.
And
Asking for it and then receiving it.
but when somebody told me, it's like, how do you feel when you can help somebody? I'm like, oh my God, I'm above cloud nine. It is the best thing when I can write a cover letter for somebody, or I can like help them with their nutrition or whatever it is, or help them with their vision. It makes me feel so good. And so she was saying, so you are taking that away from other people to do.
You're denying the blessing. Yeah.
That was a big one for me. I was like, oh, so
Or-
now
or
when
we're
somebody
being-
gives me a compliment, I say, thank you. And I don't give a compliment right back, because if I do that, then I'm deflecting. So I just say thank you. And then maybe another time I can give them a compliment, but it's
And
like,
try to really feel it. Try to really really let it feed your soul. Like, I don't think we're used to that. We're always ready to push it off on somebody else, or, it's just like that. Those compliments are going to help close the holes in our cup,
yes, thank you, Danielle. You're
Go wisdom.
right.
I need to
Cheryl,
do
what
it
were
more
you going to
myself.
say?
I don't know now.
Okay.
That's
It's all
okay.
good. I got that space in my brain that things disappear into.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know.
I just wanted to let you guys know my camera was off because I was writing on my phone my notes, because I want them in my phone so I
Oh.
can, But my favorite part was the what if. I was like,
And
what
you-
if this and what if this? I need to play more in that place of like,
Yeah.
what if?
Yes. And we will go more into that. But yes, please, 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 for all of the things that we did today, especially the what if, when you think of more, that's why I wanted you to have like all in one place, just have it by your bedside table, or take it with you, when you're driving or something, and just add to it, because that is the first step. What if, right? That imagining. So I'm very grateful for that. And then I don't know if all of you do like a gratitude thing, but I would invite you to, like, every night, write down 3 things. Write down one thing that you're grateful for from the past,
Mm.
one thing you're grateful for today, and one thing that you're grateful for in the future, as if it already happened.
Ooh,
Because that's scripting. There's a whole,
Oh.
but so, and
all right, give me 5 more.
I challenge you to every day have it something different. So if you're writing today from your past that you're super grateful for your mom because she always told you you can be anything, right? Then tomorrow I'm going to be writing maybe about my dad or my grandma, or I don't know, a certain teacher. So every day until we meet again next week, find something different. One from the past, one from today, and one for the future, which is kind of like putting that mind out there. Like, I am so grateful I sold and closed on my home on April 30th. 2021.
April 30th, that's my birthday.
Well, that was my great grandpa's birthday. So
Well, he's magical.
I know
Cheryl,
for you.
Yes,
did you figure it out?
figure what out?
What you wanted to say?
My thought, I was gonna say, and sometimes we won't accept the gifts that are gifts of help because we're too busy sabotaging how people can't do it as well as we can.
Oh,
Ooh.
shut up. Yeah, so you could have kept that to yourself. No.
I'm getting better at letting go. I can watch my husband clean the kitchen for me and not yell at him for
Not doing it right.
not doing this and not doing that. Yeah, I can let it go.
Yeah, good. Good. Yeah. I don't even clean my house anymore because I've let it go. I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I do, if there's a mess, I clean it up. But for like the dust, like when my kids were, I remember when my first child was born and I was nursing, and like all I could do was like nurse and eat Cheerios or peanut butter and jelly. Like there was no time in between nursing for much other than like maybe passing out and having food.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the dust waits.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the
it's not-
laundry
I know, that's
waits.
what I say. It's not going anywhere.
Like the laundry waits. Look at that.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it.
And then you can wear it inside out. Or maybe not.
Or buy new clothes, or be naked, or never leave the house. I mean, there's so many options.
Yes, I know. I would like to finish within the next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Now, just one thing. Go back to your notes, or not notes, or just in your thoughts. I'd like to you to, if you're open to it, share one thing that surprised you or you learned today from us being together. Either about something about yourself that you're surprised or that you learned, or something that you learned from me.
Okay, I'll make you laugh.
Okay.
All the things that I have done in my life, but when you said, what have you accomplished in the past? The number one thing the first thing I put down was, I am the pie making goddess.
Oh, I love it. Okay, now you got to make us a pie so we can
Yeah,
judge that.
right.
Wait, not a lamb pie though, right?
No,
Oh no, I'm talking sweet. Hopefully, sweet pie.
yes, sweet, sweet,
Oh.
sweet.
Dessert. Yeah, dessert pie. Yes.
Oh my God, what a beautiful picture.
That's so funny. Yes, Danielle, it is a gorgeous picture.
That
Thank you,
surprised
ladies.
me that popped first.
That did make me laugh.
I surprised myself in being able to be focused on this in the midst of Jackson, my niece's like vacation, so
Oh, right.
I'm hiding out in the garage, but I'm doing it.
That's a garage.
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
garage.
That's a nice, clean, well painted, nice.
Oh
and
yeah, my
orderly.
dad loves to do stuff like that, so
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for
when
being present.
when I was doing my accomplishments, I always downplayed graduating college at 50 years old.
No,
Like, I
that's,
just always was like, oh yeah, like I start the story out and I'm like, oh yeah, I only had 9 credits, and I dropped out, whatever, and I completed it. But like I make the story about how goofy I was that I didn't do the 9 credits, not that I picked up where I'd left off years before. Like, I got to reframe some stuff because it is fancy. It's not, I mean, not fancy, you know what I mean? But
No,
it's
no,
fancy.
yes,
It's
it
fancy
is.
to me. It's
Yes,
fancy to me because
it is.
I put graduating high school and college, and I'm like, oh, I graduated college. Like, I never wrote that before. I've always said like, yeah, I got my associates. And like, yeah, I changed my underwear. Like, it's no big deal. But it is. I did it.
and it's
And
harder to do it when you go back later in life. I dropped out to marry my husband and didn't come back for like 15, 20 years before I went back to college. So like when you knew me, I was probably right out of college myself.
okay. Yeah, Ian's 25, so 25 years ago. No,
Very,
20
very
because he
cool.
was 5. But anyway, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Cool.
But so yeah, writing that down, graduating high school and college. And then I'm a good driver. I love driving and I'm good at driving. Like, that's the thing. But it's a thing. So
Yes, I agree. Carol, is there something you would like to share?
Yeah, I actually helped somebody today one of the guys in the program who stutters and is has great difficulty speaking and expressing his feelings. And I was actually surprised at how patient and empathetic I was.
yay to
And
both of you.
and I sometimes doubt if I have that capability because I am a real hard ass.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing too. When you said that earlier, like, oh, patience is not my strong suit. That is something you can change. That's a story you've been telling yourself for so many years.
Yeah.
So you can change that. I'm a type of woman that
Yeah,
has
and I mean,
patience.
I waited for him. I mean, he was 15 minutes late for the call, and I was like, because I am fanatic about starting on time to respect other people's time and calendars. But I didn't even bring that up. I just took us back to the conversation that we started this morning, and he wanted to postpone it till tomorrow, and I didn't want to give him that
Out.
out or that missed opportunity to work on it this evening so that he would be better prepared for tomorrow's session because we do this daily. And it went very well. I was pleased.
Proud of you. See, helping somebody else. Yay.
Yay.
That's great. Awesome. I love you guys. This is so amazing. I just get so much out of this, and hopefully you guys get stuff out of this too.
Yes.
And I would also invite you, and that doesn't have to be now, like either in a text message or a follow-up call or an email, just some feedback from me. What went well today? Maybe what I could change or improve. I'm already thinking like, wouldn't it be cool if should have been maybe first and then the what if. I'm thinking the what if might have been maybe a little hard. I don't know. But like I'm the teacher, so I'm always looking for feedback and what can I do differently next time. So if you have any feedback for me, good, bad, and ugly, that I would really appreciate that. And I'm so glad that I recorded because I can send it I'm going to make it into a YouTube video unlisted and I'll send it to Nancy and then she can watch it and doesn't feel like she missed anything.
Yay.
Well, thank you everybody for giving me permission to record this. So it's not just helpful for me, but now we can also send it to Nancy.
Share the love.
Share the love. Yes. And then next week, we're going to be digging into our past a little bit. That would be good.
I'll be wearing a hood and glasses.
Wait,
because I'll be present, but I'll be trying to hide from myself.
Bring sunglasses if you want. If you want.
I think that I've done it. I don't know why I feel that way. That's hilarious because I've done so much work and I really I don't know. I feel like there's still stuff that's hiding.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
spooky.
sure. And I would like,
but I think I've gotten to most of the spooky stuff.
Good. Danielle, are you going to be home? Yes, right? By next week? Yes, you are.
What day?
The
Tuesday?
7th.
The
The
6th?
6th. Yeah, or no?
No,
not
I'm
yet.
still here. I leave on the 8th.
Ooh,
Where's
cool.
here? Where are you?
Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, nice.
wow.
Is it sweaty there?
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cold today.
That's-
But it's still nice to be out of New York.
Well, I'd like to talk to you, but maybe we'll do that the week after. I'd like you to do a little, if you're interested in doing
I
it.
could do it. I could manage. The
Yeah?
garage is fine. Yeah.
Do a little, I would like you to do us a little bit of either like getting ready for the class, or you and I will talk. But
Okay.
I'd love for you to set the tone for us.
Sounds good.
For next
Sure.
Because I love to share all the incredible things that you do. And please, please, please feel free. I will reach out to you anyway, but feel free if you have any questions, something pops up, reach out to me. I don't think I would like to do like the one-on-one sessions that I get with everybody. I think they're not really necessary until like after the second session. But if you
Mhm.
feel like you want to already take advantage of a one-on-one coaching with me, let me know. But I think it will be more powerful after next week. But that's just me thinking. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
really look forward to next time. That was amazing for me. Ah.
Carol, it was a pleasure to make your acquaintance, as I know everybody else.